Well, hello, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. This channel right here is a channel that I'm using to try and help others with. It'll probably never be monetized. This is me trying to give back and help others because, YouTube has become the wild, wild west. It's the gold rush. And you're hearing and seeing all these videos out there. If you're in your mama's basement, get your ass on YouTube. Or if you're over 40, now's the time to start your YouTube channel. And you're seeing all these videos about how much money I made on YouTube. And they're selling you the idea of being on YouTube for them to make it on YouTube. I hope that makes sense. Because when you see somebody post a video that says how much I made, you automatically think, well, I can do that as well. And that is possible. It is possible. There's another fallacy that, all you got to do is put your shingle up, you're on YouTube, and the money's just going to roll in. I can remember some years ago, I had a troll that was constantly like, it must be nice to just kick back at home and let that YouTube money just roll in. I work for a living. Well, to be successful on YouTube, the reality is you're only going to get out of YouTube what you put into it. And it's not easy to come up with content. I'm very fortunate because I found that my niche, which is maybe I was a forerunner because now, as they put it, easy mode. YouTube is on easy mode. And a lot of people think, oh, easy mode, that means it's easy street. Well, by easy mode, they're saying spend less time editing. To give you an example, my daughter, shout out to my daughter, who was the one who got me on YouTube. I have, and I'm very proud of having my YouTube plaque over here having 100,000 subscribers. My daughter has had one for about 7 years and has now earned her second one. And it is a job. When she does her videos, she spends hours upon hours to edit. It may take a day or two to get these things done. This isn't just, okay, boom, it's up and done. My videos, of course, because I'm more of the update guy and my niche is being in different locations. You might see me underneath the house or on a roof or on a ladder and things like that, giving you the updates, in which case it's done in real time and it's sent up basically raw. And that's where people know me. And I've learned a lot of things by doing that. But here, when I say something, it's kind of like when you talk to your wife and you say, honey, it should be like da 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 da. Unless you get somebody else to say it, sometimes it just doesn't sink in. So we have Sean here from Think Media. And I don't do this to discourage you from doing YouTube. Quite frankly, not at all. I'm telling you these things so that way, hopefully, you'll be successful on YouTube. But listen to Sean from Think Media here with the realities of YouTube monetization.
For making significant money.
Sean, we want to know the truth about making money on YouTube as a creator, maybe some realistic expectations of what that could look like, not just the pipe dream of going full time and you've made it in a couple months, but reality for normal, regular content creators, the truth about making money on YouTube.
Yeah, this is a great question. And I actually looked up some stats. We know there's a lot of big promises and get rich quick schemes, and there's the 1% unicorns that just break out. But if we talk about realistic expectations, here's what the data says. There's 113 million active YouTube channels worldwide, but only 60 million of them are creators that are posting consistently.
That's me.
And only a small portion of those are actually monetized. So it's
Now, before we go deeper into that, what I want you to also think of is this. I have my main channel, Jobu Sports Report. Okay? That's the one that has over 100,000. I have my original channel, which was shut down, but they revived it, Cowboy Jobu. I have my day job channel, of course, that's covering my construction work. I have cooking and tailgating with Jobu, and I have this one. So you think about a lot of different YouTubers that are bigger YouTubers that have multiple channels. That's the same person. So that 2 million people that we're talking about is 2 million channels. It may only be 1.5 million. It may be less than that. But go on.
Estimated that there's around 2 million channels that are monetized. So that'll show you the percentages from the YouTube Partner Program. Now, we can talk later. We have a lot of students that make money before they get monetized. And so that is a possibility. But if your plan is to get paid for views, then there's 2 million channels, which is also a lot. But percentagely, compared to basically the 60 million that are active. Now, in terms of earnings, the vast majority of creators are not making significant money. According to multiple sources, roughly 96% of YouTube creators make less than $12,000 annually. Now, $12,000 is pretty cool, though. And that speaks to this possibility of definitely not get rich quick, but what if it's $12,000 extra dollars a year from your side hustle, from a side passion? And then, in fact, many creators earn under $100 a year, especially if they're not full-time or they don't have a large audience. So I think the reality at a high level is that don't start a YouTube channel thinking you're going to get rich quick. Don't start a YouTube channel thinking it's going to blow up overnight. I think going into it with a mindset that this is something that could earn me money in the future. This is something that, especially if I invest time in learning skills, time in learning strategy. The truth is competition is highest for low effort content. And it's kind of like gym memberships. If we looked at how many active gym memberships there are, millions, but then how many people actually go to the gym, and then how many people go like once a month versus how many people are in there consistently. And then if they're even in there consistently, I actually see this. I go to the YMCA in my local town. I'm always shocked because I got kids and I put them in Kid Zone and I'm like waiting for that diaper to fill because they will not change it. So I'm like, I better get my workout in. So I like superset everything. I'm like zooming through trying to get and I'm looking at other people who are scrolling their phone, doing like a late. So it's one thing if you even go to the gym. It's a whole nother thing if you actually put in the effort and the work. It's like not the amount of hours you work, it's the amount of work you put in the hours. And I just use that as an analogy, at least for hope, that I think that on the one hand, the numbers are the truth. I mean, if 96% of YouTube creators are making less than 12,000, that's the numbers. But if you want to be in the 4%, I think there's a lot of intentional strategic things you can do by working harder, working smarter, having smart strategies, etc. But those are the realistic expectations. And then I also think that now, having interviewed hundreds of creators and entrepreneurs using video, there's so many stories of people that commit to this. And I think this is the mindset. For them, the breakthrough was at 2.5 years when they started making significant part-time income or they went full-time. For others, it was at 4.5 years. For others, it was year 7 or 8. So I also think realistic expectations is having a mindset that like, this is kind of like a side thing I want to do that I'm passionate about, that I could see would be fun. It'll also be work. It'll take discipline, grit, but I want to just do this. I want to commit to the long haul and have a sustainable pace in doing this. Stick maybe in my day job, figure out the rhythms of my life and build up my YouTube channel. And why I know now, if I knew then what I knew now, I could have gone a lot faster. From really 2010 until 2015, I worked at a church with a salary, full-time job, building up my YouTube channel on the side. And it was at the end of 2015 that I went full-time and I went all in. That was 5 years. To me, that's realistic expectations. Mm-hmm. And not that even the 5 years is a guarantee. There's a lot of other things we could talk about that to position you for success, but that's not get rich quick. Not a lot of people, there's so many thumbnails and titles that are talking about, these wild stories.
I'm going to leave it right.
There's not a lot of.
But this is the reason I do this video is because I have been actually doing YouTube The original channel started in 2012, and I didn't really post much on that. I basically ended up being on Facebook because you get all the likes and everything else on there, and I would post videos on my YouTube channel, and nobody would watch it. I'd get 20, 30 views and things on it. And it was just kind of more of nobody cares. It wasn't until 2016 that I got my first 1,000 subscribers, and it started to build. But it's been a steady climb going through there, building it up. It hasn't been where this is where I'm looking, watching. There's a person, Dodash, okay? And I'll never get mad at somebody for doing what they do that works for them. Dodash got monetized a few months ago, apparently, and she got monetized, and her videos were revenue updates. And those are videos that people always want to see. People want to know, how much money do you make? To a point. And so you've got now the attention that's on your channel. People are watching, and you're seeing numbers that are going through. You got videos that are getting 10, 15,000 views, and all of a sudden you feel like, I've made it. I have arrived. This is great. Now the problem is where do you go from there? And the videos, looking at her channel, seeing the videos that went, kind of viral, that she's got everybody going in there, that you've got this big bump up of numbers. And now it's like a hyperbola. It's beginning to come back down because the only videos that are working well are the ones about how much money you made. That kind of gets old. It gets to be now, okay, I'm here. What are you doing to value my, to make added value for my life? What is my reason to watch? And that's the hard part, is the sustainability of being able to constantly come out with content. You'll get people that'll get burned out because now you're chasing that high of all those views, and everybody's talking about how much they love you and things like that. Then you start having these videos that aren't making much money. And if this is now your only source of income, you're screwed. I can tell you that, for me, my whole channel cycles from August until the end of the season. That's where it just steadily goes up. Come January, it drops off like a cliff until the NFL league year starts with free agency. So I know how it's going to go up and down. And it's totally night and day different. So if you can't plan for those things and so on, and this year, with the Cowboys being terrible, the numbers are almost like the offseason. So now all of a sudden you're used to, hey, it's Christmas time. You've got tons and tons of views, and you're making the most amount of money in December, and you're counting on that. And then the team stinks, and all of a sudden your revenue's cut in half. Then what do you do? And these are the pitfalls of being in YouTube. Being a flash in the pan, it's great. All of a sudden you think you got it. But what goes up real fast also goes down real fast. And as Sean was pointing out, it was a slow buildup. It took him really 5 years before he ended up going in full time. And that's the reality of it. I can tell you about my good buddy Game Time Brian, who a year and a half ago had a couple hundred subscribers. But he has been working on this constantly, putting out content every single day, doing multiple live streams a week. While he's a mailman, he's taking his lunch time to do a live stream. And it's about commitment to do that. He went from a couple hundred a year and a half ago to over 30,000. It doesn't happen overnight. And he looks at it and says, well, maybe now that I'm getting older, in a few years, maybe this can be a supplement to my retirement. And that's the way you have to look at YouTube. YouTube, hey, it's your side hustle. It's your side hustle. But it doesn't provide health insurance. It doesn't take care of paying the taxes and things on it. These are all things that are all part of it if you get to be part of that 14% that makes money. So there you have it. That's the reality of today's gold rush. And again, I don't put these things here to discourage people. In fact, I want you to know what you're getting into and whether or not this is the commitment you want to make, because doing this also takes time away from your family or doing other things, because this is a job. Have a great day and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'm Mark Holmes. Thank you very much.